Hi everyone, my name's Jeanette and I am here at Riverfront Yacht Sales and Service with the happiest man on earth, Rob Morley, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be taking a look at today.
Hi Jeanette, how are you?
Good, excited to be here.
Well, thanks for coming down and going over our wonderful display here. We have three boats that we're going to go over. One is our Jeanneau 349, another is a Jeanneau 389, and then our Jeanneau 44DS.
Awesome.
This is the smallest of the fleet, the Jeanneau 349, and it's full of features for a little 30, well, some people say little, but for a 34-foot boat.
She's pretty big, Rob.
Yep.
Let's kind of start going through, since we're already right over here on the bottom. We do have it obviously pulled out of the water. Mast is not on anymore, but let's just start looking at some of the specifics of the boat. And I'll let you kind of take it away. Right off the bat, I'm just seeing this beautiful keel. Can you speak a little bit more to the style of keel?
We can start with the back or the front, but we'll work from the front back. Normally in all of our Jeanneaus, we have a fine front entry, which is more of a performance type design. We're going into the new wing keel style. The boats are offered with both a deep keel and a wing keel. The wing keel being preferred for our area up here because we are cruising in shallower waters. The deep keel is over 6-foot draft, which in some areas would be a lot. This has a 4-foot 10 draft on it, so we can get up into Sandusky Bay, up cruising around the islands, that type of thing.
Awesome.
With the wing keel, it gives us the performance and the stability mixed with the safety of having a shoal keel.
Great. Yeah, I was just going to ask, because it's obviously a beautiful design. Is it unique to Jeanneau?
Well, you'll see it in other boat manufacturers, but Jeanneau and their design team designed their own keels.
Sure. Okay,
so they're
cool.
specific to their boat. So, yeah, the concept is common, but their design is theirs.
Great. Yeah, so a lot of benefits, obviously, with having a shallow draft. Allows for kind of more areas that we can explore.
Well, along with the shoal draft keel comes the twin rudders. So the twin rudders is both a performance and a cruising preference. The plus with the cruising with the twin rudders is we don't have to go into water as deep. So now, again, we can go into shallower areas, okay? But on top of that, when the boat is heeled over, port or starboard tack, you'll notice that the rudders are down at an angle. Yep. That one rudder is always down vertically in the water, which reduces and or eliminates weather helm and gives you much better performance with the rudders.
Great. And I'm seeing a unique prop over here, which looks to me like it's probably going to help us a little bit with some of that drag.
Yeah, here we go with the performance. We're using a 3-blade folding prop. This gives us two types of performance. Because it's a folding prop, it folds up when we're sailing, so we don't have any drag. While we are motoring, the blades pop out, and now we have 3 blades biting the water, much like a powerboat would.
Gotcha.
So we're getting full optimization out of the motor, and it's a shaft-driven boat, so this is the prop shaft come back to the strut, and it's going to a solid bronze folding flexi-fold prop.
Okay, fantastic. So a lot of times when people are just in the market for a sailboat, they're looking for boats that, might sail really well versus motor really well. Would you say that Jeanneau does one better than the other, or it's just that kind of perfect boat that it does both really well?
Well, we have a problem. One of the main design team designers at Jeanneau is Philip Riant. He is a well-known world-class racer and sailor and designer. So stuff like the hardened chine that you're seeing in all the new boats was one of his original gigs, okay? So we have the performance of a hardened chine boat, which opens up the beam on the boat. You're going to see it in all your Sork boats and everything now these days. So we're having a better performance hull, and it gives better stability. So we try to mix with Jeanneau performance, sailing, and cruising.
Wow.
And when we get up on top of the boat, you'll see some of the niceties of the cruising,
sure,
plus mixed with some of the fun things and the rigging on the performance of the sailing.
Great. So we kind of have the best of both worlds with this. Can you speak to the dimensions? So I heard a 4'10", 4'11" draft.
Right.
The beam size is?
This is
11 foot, I believe.
Yeah, 11'2", and the
349 is.
And the overall length is 35 feet.
35
to the
feet.
bowsprit. Yep.
Yeah, nice sized vessel. Perfect for ocean going or Lake Erie.
Right?
Awesome.
A very popular when the boat first came out, it got the Pocket Cruiser of the Year award both in Europe and in the U.S. all at the same time.
Great.
It was overwhelming.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Let's go take a look on the top side. All right, folks, so we are now on the top side of this beautiful Jeanneau, and the first thing that I'm seeing, Rob, are 2 wheels. Can you speak to the benefits of having 2 wheels just off the bat? Obviously, it's very spacious, so we know there's that. What else are the benefits of this type of setup?
Well, some of the key features of having the twin wheels is because the boats have carried their beam aft, we're wider in the back end of the boat, so that we're going to utilize that. Because when you're sailing a boat, you don't stand here behind the wheel. We're going to sit out here. We want to cruise along. We can see the slot and the sail, the main and the jib, and how she's performing. The next thing that it offers for the cruising people, especially if you like to swim off this beautiful swim platform,
sure,
or swim transom, is that it opens it up so we have the openness coming through here.
Yeah.
So it's done for really 2 reasons. One is the visibility, because we'd have to have a huge wheel if we wanted to see outboard on each side. So we have 2 wheels, and we can get outboard further, and also open up the cockpit to make it more, more comfortable in the cockpit.
Right, that's a really good point. I like that point about the visibility. When you're sitting there, you can actually see those sails and kind of in between them a little bit better. That's a really good point. And then I see you have a lot of cool gear over here. You want to talk to that a little bit and explain what we have?
Okay, on this boat, on all our newer Jeanneaus, we have German main sheeting. So the main sheet comes back on both sides. The port and starboard jib sheet accordingly on the port and starboard side. So literally sailing here, I can trim the main with the winch, close the main, open up the jib, trim the jib, all from this helm. I don't even leave this helm. I stay in one place. It's phenomenal. Also on this boat, we have the and it's a nice size self-tailing winch. So again, short-handed sailing, self-tailing winches.
Sure. It's
standard equipment on the boat. Another nice feature on this is with the Raymarine instruments that we have here. We have an autopilot control and our knot meter, depth sounder, wind instrument all here. Our single lever engine control. So this is really the driven side of the boat when you're moving the boat in and out of the dock. But if you had to go out and do any type of getting away from the helm, you could actually just hit the autopilot. It's a built-in solid drive autopilot system. So it takes over control, steers the boat.
Wow.
If you wanted to go, whether you have to go trim something or assist something or whatever. So really nice on the electronics.
Great. And I see another Raymarine over here. And do they speak to each other?
Oh yeah, Raymarine is all networked together. That's the GPS plotter. And what that offers you is a cartographic plotter no matter where you're at in the world.
Wow.
We have charts that feed into that. It works off the satellite GPS system. And we can actually operate the autopilot through that. We can see our wind instruments through that. We can actually operate our stereo. That's kind of important through that control. Yeah, it's very important. So, and then we also have our normal compasses, one on each side of the boat.
Nice. Because
you have to have a compass. If all your electronics went out, you have to know where north, south, east, west is.
Sure.
Also on this side of the boat, in this cockpit, while I'm over here, might as well just show this to you now. We have the propane locker, because we have a built-in propane stove, which I'll show you down below.
Great.
So it's a vented locker. It has to be by code. Our cockpit speakers, shore power, and last but not least, our hot and cold cockpit shower. So when you're out here getting done after a hard day of swimming laps out in Lake Erie, you can get out and rinse off.
Rinse off. Awesome. And as I'm kind of standing in this space, I'm just moving back, and so spacious. Mm-hmm. About how many would you say could this boat kind of comfortably handle?
Oh, 6 is real comfortable. You can just see that.
Sure.
2 in each seat, 1 on each side back here.
Yeah.
Plenty of room. Couple kids, you can go 8.
Yeah.
I've had 8 adults on the boat. It's snug, but if everybody knows each other, that's fine.
Well, sure. I mean, three on this side, 1 over there. Yeah, you could easily fit 8 for sure. Awesome. And then I'm seeing a table here.
Yeah.
I like to eat, Rob.
Yep. So we have a nice, and one of the things I'll try to keep pointing out is our grab rails on the boat.
Yeah, safety.
Going forward, for safety, we can, in a lurching sea, get through it. The table folds out. I'm not going to hold it, prop it up permanently, but we have the plastic table leaves. There's an option to have teak if you want class. I've done a couple of them. They're beautiful. We have storage in here for inside the locker, drink holders, and whatnot.
I'm seeing a couple openings here. Talk to me about these.
This opening allows us to get down into the storage locker, which you'll see from down below as well. So
cool. More storage.
There's more storage.
Wow.
Yep.
Great.
And we have on this side, this goes into the quarter berth, so your guests, or if you like to sleep aft, you can open this up and have the hatch open so you have through ventilation back in the quarter berth.
Awesome.
If you notice on the back of the boat here, we have a watertight locker that we can put fenders, dock lines, and whatnot in there. And on this side, you'll find this on all the Jeanneau boats. We have what they call the raft locker. This is for an overboard raft, emergency deployable raft. Our neck of the woods, nobody uses it. Somebody doing some serious cruising around the lakes may want to put a raft on.
Sure.
But typically we use that locker for fenders, dock lines, stuff that can get wet, because that locker is not a dry locker.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome.
Well, again, they're very big on storage. They thought this through. It keeps it clean like this. Out sailing, it's really amazing.
And we all know that storage on a boat is just so important. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more of those little cubbies tucked away in here. Make sure you point them out as we go along.
On this size boat, you'll be amazed how much storage is on it.
Awesome, cool. So Rob, I love this whole cockpit area. Let's take a look at some of the rigging. Move forward a little bit more over here and see what you have. Can you tell us a little bit more about what I'm seeing over here on the deck? I see extra lines and a few different things going on.
Okay, here we have on this boat, this has the optional spinnaker halyard winch, so we could raise the spinnaker from the cockpit. We can also have our reef lines are all led aft, and our main halyard over on this side, and our reef lines are over on this side, is all led aft. So we don't have to leave the cockpit to put the main up and down, to reef the main.
Wow.
We have a lazy jack system on the main, so it drops into the stack pack. We can actually pull the spinnaker up here from the cockpit or deploy it from the cockpit. Real easy. Again, self-tailing winches. Life is easy. It's simple. Step back a little bit there.
Sure.
Let me show you something about the access here too. What we've done on a lot of the new Jeanneaus is the bifold door. The reason for this was it's a preferred, instead of having to drop in hatch boards, but we could also lower the threshold because these doors are permanent on here, okay? So the whole idea is that a cockpit has to hold so much water, so they can't fill up the cockpit. So now we can lower the threshold down a little bit and have easier access to down below. If you notice on the boat with our winch handles and winch holders, all Harken gear, so it's easy to crank. Very, with the self-tailing winch, very simple, smooth and easy. We like it comfortable.
I see there's a lot of benefits to this, having a vessel like this, for sure.
Yep.
Shall we move forward a little more?
Yeah, stepping out of the cockpit, you'll notice right away, safety. Double stainless lifelines, very rigid, solid stanchions, a gated stanchion with double lifelines even in the gate. So anybody going up forward and aft on the boat, nice size tow rail, so when you're heeled over, you can brace yourself against the tow rail accordingly. We have a nice walk-through on the deck here.
I see more safety railings. That's awesome.
Yep, very stout, nice large mooring cleats. Here we get up to the anchor locker. This is some of the big boat stuff that you will see typically on big boats, not smaller boats of this size, that is standard on this boat. Let me show you the anchor locker. We have a built-in self-draining anchor locker with an electric windlass, quick electric windlass. The windlass operates off a wired remote, so for safety, we operate the windlass. We're not down near the chain and all the motor and all that. Again, for safety, they built this right in. If you had to dump the anchor real quick, we put the handle in here and release the brake, and we can release the anchor line.
So even if you lost all your power, you can still deploy your anchor.
You can get, yeah.
Beautiful.
Safety. We're very key on safety. If you notice the anchor roller, nice heavy-duty stainless anchor roller, we put on as a dealer the rock anchor, which is like one of the best anchors. So you're for sure to hold with some chain on the at the front of the anchor, which makes it set and hooking very easy. Because it's out on the sprit, we got the anchor way out there, and it makes it easy to get in and out, and very safe.
Sure. What's that fancy thing on the end, Rob?
Well,
that looks fancy.
Here we go with the performance. This is an optional Harken reflex furler for the code 0 or a top-down asymmetrical. We can hang both off of this boat. Code 0 being for off the wind or light air sailing. The asymmetrical is definitely off the wind sailing. And that, if you notice, the line is led back to that primary side,
I see
where
that.
the captain can handle pulling the sail in and out. Literally, it's 2 fingers to pull it in and out.
Wow.
And you open it up, and then the sheet lead goes back to either side accordingly. It's a wonderful thing. Light air, again, I hate to keep saying the word, performance. We like performance cruising sailing.
And it seems like it's very comfortable as well as safe, too.
Yes. We have a 109% jib on the Jenny. If it gets light, again, you can have the code 0 out there, and the boat keeps zipping along in lighter air.
Nice. Awesome.
So going down below, you'll notice that the easiness and the steps, but keep in mind, one of the things that we're going to be pointing out again, time and time again on the boat, is the grab rails.
The rails.
Safety. We got these nice heavy-duty through-bolted stainless rails, chafe strips on the steps. As I come down below here, check this out.
I see that.
This is recessed to grab into, and on that table, and the overhead teak handrails.
Wow.
As we walk forward, we got the teak handrail, and you got the compression post of the mast. So, again, lots and lots of stability and great handholds.
Awesome. So all the way forward, if we just, let's say, start from the very bow of the boat and we move our way back, I'm seeing a spacious V-berth.
Correct. Let's go forward. So if you walk up in the front, you'll notice that there's actually a step down. As we go up forward, we're going to have a little bit of a step down. Did I tell you I'm 6'1"?
6'1", and you can stand without bending down or slouching.
Right.
Amazing.
So I can get dressed in here,
Wow.
whatever I want. One of the popular things that's happened with us with this boat is the double doors. So for privacy, I don't mean to shut you out, but we can shut it and have the privacy up here, plus room to get dressed in a V-berth and a 34-footer, okay? Plus it opens it up. So if you're just here with as a couple, nobody ever shuts the door. It leaves it wide open and spacious.
Definitely.
Lots of shelving and storage on both sides here, up here. We have night lighting.
Wow.
So, you know, for cleaning and all that stuff, we have the light. But for reading light, we have also, you know, your nice, easy reading light there.
Is that a fan I see over there as well?
Yeah, we have a 12-volt fan. So when we're not at the dock or not on shore power or we just want some ventilation, we have a fan going. We have the overhead hatch, talking about ventilation. So we have opening hatch with the passive vent built right into the hatch, which is water, you know, sheds water. But we have a blind for closing off the sunlight or privacy or mosquito netting.
Wow.
Okay? So if you're out anchored out, for example, or at a spot where you want just the hatch open, you could have the hatch open, air scoops down, comes down below. Lots of ventilation.
I like that mosquito netting feature, that screen there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's standard on the boat.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big pluses. I have a lot of customers, we have to put them on aftermarket on older boats. You know, Jeanneau sees the demand, says, gee, everybody wants one. It's
For sure.
going on. You know,
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome. And like you said, I see more storage along the sides. I also know from what you've told me, there's a compartment right behind this door.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to come up forward and see that, you can come around the corners, and there's a dresser door here. So it gives us good access, good storage capabilities. It's kind of a dresser compartment type situation. The water tank is mounted underneath the V-berth, so there's not a lot of storage there. We have some more storage over here, and the compartment, the side rails. You can even see up forward where your feet would be up in the V-berth. You got more cubbyhole storage.
So we're in the main salon now, and I see, again, another space where we can all kind of sit around a table, it would appear, but it's just very spacious in here as well. And I'm seeing little nooks and crannies that could potentially be storage. You want to show us some of those?
Oh, yes. There's lots of features in a small boat. Well, we say small boat. This is our smallest of our line boat, the 34. It can easily sit 6 people. We'll talk about the table here first, but I'll put up this side of the leaf, so we lock up the leaf. Again, we have a nice little ridge rail so stuff doesn't slide off the table. We have storage inside here. So we got room for whatever you want to put in there, whether it's whatever goods you want to put in there. In the box, in the table, we also have storage underneath here, inside there, so easy to get to. 6 people easily can sit around this table, okay? When both leaves are open.
That's impressive.
So, you know, when we say pocket cruiser, again, I say 4 to 6. It works out real comfortable.
And like you said, you're 6'1", so even if you're kind of a little bit of a larger person, taller, whichever,
right.
You still can sit pretty comfortably in all of these spaces.
Oh yeah, I have no problem bouncing around this boat at all. We have storage compartments. Storage. We have the ropes and lines on this boat stored in here for right now, but cruising people may have, you know, other sundry items in there. 2 fans.
More fans.
So we have boat cross ventilation. We have also in these, in here, we have back storage. So we have little cubby holes. Well, they're trying to use every space up. If you left that open, stuff falls out. So there might be stuff. Granted, you have to do some of your own inventory, but, you know, you got places to stow stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And just kind of from my angle, we'll get the camera in over here to take a peek too. I see a spot for liquor and wine.
You have to have a liquor cabinet.
Yes.
I don't mean to say this jokingly too much, but if you notice in almost all the Jeanneaus, we have space for wine bottles. So
I like wine, Rob.
There you go.
I'm not going to oppose that.
Ventilation, again, we talked about the fans. Again, standard ocean blind type hatch with its mosquito netting, passive ventilation. So when you know, it'll allow some airflow in here. And this hatch actually opens aft, okay, because of the vang. So, you know, we could actually have air flowing in and out very easily on this boat.
Yeah, awesome.
If you're sitting down, look over here, we have the hall window here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to see this in the building here, but, you know, that gives you daylight visibility. At my dock, where this boat was at, you can see right down the dock. It just opens it up. People sit there and go, my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
It's like having a small picture window in your living room.
And probably for those folks that might be, you know, their stomachs get a little uneasy, it's kind of nice to retreat to a cabin if you were to and still have that visibility, that horizon line there.
The seasickness is caused a lot because people can't see the horizon.
Sure.
And here you can see the horizon and it takes that away.
Great.
Again, the same duplication on the storage over there, out here. Here's a neat little feature. Go forward there, Jeanette. So we got this table up, right? Yeah, I can kind of get through there. But here's a neat thing that they do. We have a lot of people we're entertaining. We don't need the chart table out at that point because we're in the entertainment mode, not in the navigation mode. We can open this up. Now we're all sitting around having dinner. Poker party.
That's
drinks,
fantastic.
Whatever, all right? And easy in and out for either side. Little things that they thought of that didn't cost a lot. and it makes the boat more well-featured.
And it makes a difference for everybody's comfort to just be able to kind of move around freely without bumping into things constantly. And so, yeah, that's fantastic. And I know that we're not going to go through every single little cubby, but as I look around, I can see those telltale signs of where they are and that there's extra storage space basically scattered throughout this entire boat. Really
We
neat.
can even use the bilge and the access down in there for storage.
Okay.
There's locker lines there. Our
Cool.
nav station here, we have our VHF radio, our Fusion stereo, our air conditioning control, our standard switch panel. So it all operates real easy. The Fusion stereo's got obviously, it's Wi-Fi, so you can bring your own phone, bring your own music. It works out nice.
So this is, again, your main panel.
Right.
Wow. Nice and clean. Looks like it's very easy to read and comprehend, so that's great.
Very straightforward.
I see speakers.
Yep, we got speakers in here and 2 up in the cockpit.
Wow.
And Fusion is zoned, so you got 4 and aft zoning on it. So if somebody's up in the cockpit wants it louder and quieter down here, vice versa.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's continue to move along. I see a spacious head right in front of you.
All right, we'll jump over the head at this point. So moving into the head, well-lit head, LED dome lighting. We have a walk-in shower, unheard of in a 34-foot sailboat. So we can actually close the shower door here. I'll demonstrate. I have a shower that's coming down on me. I take a full shower. Hot and cold running water, I did mention that earlier. And easy clean up. You can also use this. We have a towel rod back here to hang wet foul weather gear. So it's all draining into the fiberglass pan. So it makes it real easy, real comfortable to keep the clean. It's easy clean surfaces in here. So very sanitary. We also have one of the big things in this boat as a 2-cabin model. We have storage back here, going back all the way to the back, and we can put a lot of gear in there. Even I've seen remote bicycles, the fold-up bicycles, whatever, go in here. So it works out really nice. Manual toilet with holding tank, cabinet, toilet paper holder stays inside so it stays dry. Hot and cold running water again, stainless bowl sink. And did I tell you I'm 6'1"?
There you are again, standing straight and tall.
Right.
Let me ask you really quick, that storage compartment that you just showed us on the other side, is that the same one that we access? Okay, from the cockpit over there. Very cool. Wow. So, Rob, I see an aft cabin over here in addition to that V-berth. Also looks spacious. I see a closet as well. What do we have going on here? Is that a queen-size bed?
Not quite, but it's real close. It's very large. Full 6-foot 4 leg room on it, so you can lay out in it. We have a separate closing door on the boat on this cabin, so again it can become private. We have a hanging locker and another storage lockers, again with fiddle rails on them, so stuff doesn't fall out when you're underway. We also have a 12-volt fan built in here, so when we're not, when we want some extra air ventilation, we have that. That one hatch I showed you out in the cockpit opens up from here. We can actually have cross ventilation. They got the blind over that now, but we can actually have air going through there. This opens up as well, giving us more ventilation, scooping in to the cabin here.
And in addition to all this ventilation that we have, I remember that you mentioned that this boat is also equipped with AC.
Yes. We have zoned air conditioning in this boat. There's 2 units. So we have one unit back here and one up forward, so that if you want to, your guest or you want a different climate control from that, so we have, it helps use 2 small units instead of 1 big large unit.
Oh, nice.
So there's both an engineering reason behind it,
Sure.
but also, again, the comfort, cruise comfort of having both.
Awesome. And then moving right into the galley, this is spacious. All things considered, you know, boats that have little galleys on them become maybe a little bit challenging to cook in, but I'm seeing almost a full stove here.
Yes. We have a propane, 2-burner propane stove with broiler and oven.
Wow.
So, you know, broiling some steaks or some fish or whatever else, we can handle both in there. The cupboards, storage, and I'll keep bringing up fiddle rails. You open up a locker when you're underway, you don't want stuff falling out.
Sure.
So we have nice sized fiddle rails. Ventilation, opening hatch over the stove, so if you're in here cooking, they'll let some of the heat and the exhaust out.
A microwave even.
A built-in microwave flushed in. That can operate out in the lake with an optional inverter put in there, so
Okay.
you could use that. More storage again, lots of lockers. Fiddle rails again to stop stuff from falling out. Decent size refrigerator box. We have a freezer compartment literally in the top here, so you can actually store some ice cubes or make ice cubes, or store some meats for the weekend. You know, hamburgers, steaks to put out in the grill, whatever.
Sure. And how is this powered? So you said that we could use it even while we're underway.
Yeah, the refrigerator operates under 12 volt off the batteries all the time. When you're at the dock, the battery charger takes over and converts and keeps the batteries up, plus keeps the refrigerator going.
Awesome. Right to the sink, I'm seeing 2 separate faucets.
Hot and cold running water again.
Nice.
Okay. We have a spigot here for economy and for cleaning out the refrigerator. There's a Y valve. We can either pump out the ice box with the foot pump that's over here at the floor level, or if you're cruising and you're doing dishes and stuff like that, to conserve on the fresh water storage, we can rinse our dishes off by just getting the worst of the stuff off. Obviously, that would just drain overboard.
Sure. Okay.
But through an 1.5-inch drain, so it all clears out.
So that's another nice feature too. It's just running right off the boat.
Right.
This is just great water, essentially.
And here we have more storage. Going back to storage. Did I say fiddle rails? Again, we got higher fiddle rails. Stuff won't fall out. We have a silver tray here. Pots and pan storage. Nice size for lots of pots and pans.
Wow.
Underneath the sink, we have our pop-out waste can storage. Again, with fiddle rails, so stuff doesn't fall out. Soaps, whatever we need there. Because they decided that would be too deep, if you notice the anchor, this is, again, the space utilization. They're using that for that, and this isn't, it doesn't go way back, so we
Right, that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. What's this button do?
How you like that? Those cabin lights, huh? Take a look at this. We turn off the cabin lights. This is your mood lighting. And at nighttime, we would normally have the V-berth light off up there, but this makes it so comfy and cozy down here.
Nice. And last but not least, I want to know what powers this vessel. So what kind of engine do we have? And my guess is that engine compartment's going to be right here.
There you go.
So can we take a peek?
Sure can. This has got the Yanmar 3YM20. It's a 21 horsepower diesel engine. And the Yanmar being one of the most popular diesel engines running on the sailboats these days. The newer style engine, we have a high output alternator built in standard with a serpentine belt, so we aren't burning up belts. We have the water pump is right here on the front of it. Takes 2 minutes to swap out an impeller if you ever had an issue with that.
Awesome.
Engine fuel filters are right here. There's your primary, your secondary filter, easy to service, and your intake strainer to check it. Make sure, in our area we don't suck up a lot of stuff, but there's other areas where they always have debris and stuff that's always coming up, so it's easy to clean. Screw on lid on and off. You don't have to shut the seat cock because it's up above the water line, so you can easily service a strainer anytime.
Nice. Well, what I like about this is the accessibility to all of those routine maintenance parts. So we can have quick and easy access to all of the things, and especially if something were to happen underway, it seems like it's kind of plug and play.
Yep, and if you had to do major service on the engine, the steps are on a hinge and a fast pin down here, so we can pull the whole step compartment out and any mechanic would love to work on it. We have access to both sides of the
Yes.
engine through the storage access lockers, both in the shower and over on this side. So even without having pulling the steps out, we have great access to the motor.
Awesome. And what kind of horsepower do we have on this?
This is 21 horsepower.
21 horsepower. Nice. Awesome. Well, it's a beautiful boat, Rob. I love it a lot, and I'm very thankful that you showed me around on it. So thank you so much
Well,
for showing me this one.
Well, thank you for coming down and let me show you.